Hello, how you doing? I'm going to talk about the Central American, the myths. And I'm also going to talk about how they cheat the government. And the government doesn't know the difference. Now, you and I cannot cheat the government the way the Central Americans cheat the government because we have a social security number. The government will find us out in 30 days. If we even set up a narco trafficking in our house, the government finds us out in 30 days. We'll get what? The SWAT team will come over your house in 30 days or less. But look, I know a Central American family, if you call them a family, they've been narco trafficking for at least 7 years. And the government doesn't know the difference, hasn't caught them yet. I know of one who's been narco trafficking at least 20 years. The government doesn't know the difference. He paid off his house in 4 years. The other family paid off their house in what? 6 years. No, maybe less than that. But they all are narco traffickers. All of them. Okay, so the myth is propagated by them. But see, if you're just in the world like we are, we know the truth because we see them every day. But see, they have this myth. They're trying to sell Americans this myth about them, that they're hardworking. That's not true. That they feed us. They don't feed us. They don't feed me anything. In other words, they pick the vegetables that I have to eat in my salad. But look, I'm going to have that. I don't care who picks it. I'm going to have the salad. I can grow cucumbers myself. I have grown cucumbers. They don't feed me at all, but they got this myth, we feed you. Therefore, they're critical to this economy. They're not critical to this economy. Because black people used to be the migrant workers. And just by their sheer numbers, the Mexicans, for all practical purposes, I'm going to call all Central Americans Mexicans. I'm not going to get into the particular countries, but look, just Mexicans, okay? Central Americans or just Mexicans. Blacks used to be the migrant workers, and by their sheer numbers, the Mexicans have taken over that. Because I remember when blacks were the migrant workers. Blacks used to process all the food. They have overtaken that just by their sheer numbers. I mean, they'll come into a town and say, look, we'll work for $2 less than the blacks. So the food processing company will get rid of the blacks who process the food and hire the illegals. No, never mind that they're finding listeria in the food because they don't wash their hands after the bathroom duty. Never mind that, okay? Just by their sheer numbers, they're taking over jobs in the construction industry. A lot of builders won't even hire a white man or a black man. They hire illegals, Central American, Mexican illegals, whether they know how to do the job or not. I mean, I had to take a carpentry class. They have taken no carpentry class. I know who's in the carpentry class. Okay? They're not even taking a carpentry class, and yet they're building $300,000, $400,000 homes. They're building multi-million-dollar apartment complexes. I see it. I see it every day. And, sometimes I just sit there and watch a construction site. Just the other day, I saw this Mexican. He was trying to hammer a nail or a screw into steel because they're building an apartment complex. He was actually hammering a nail or a screw into steel. I saw him do it. I watched him do it. I saw another one that was hammering on a wheelbarrow. A lot of these tools that people give them, they don't seem to know what to do with, like a pothole digger. They don't know what to do with them. So, and look, I've heard so many complaints about these shoebox homes that Ryan builds. The kitchen is not straight. It's on a slope. The living room is on a slope. There's no sewer system. The pipes weren't even put in. The ceiling is about to collapse. I hear all these complaints about Ryan Homes is notorious for employing illegals, Central American illegals. They are notorious for doing that. And they build the worst, the shabbily built homes. I can't even tell you. You can just go to Google and see how many mistakes Ryan Homes has. I've heard of homes with no sewer system because they did not put the proper pipes in it. Roof caves in. I mean, all kinds of stuff. There are Central Americans to the north, south, east, and west of me, and none of them work. Not one. Because I know what's in this neighborhood. None of them work. They all on welfare. The government pays for the mortgage. The government pays for the rent. And the government, of course, pays for the food. They're happy campers. All I see them doing is walking around, taking a walk or I see them all morning. You should be going to work in the morning. They work all morning. All they do is walk around the neighborhood and get exercise, and walk with their dog and get exercise. I see them every morning. They do not work. Particularly the men, they do not work. Period. Now here's an example. Like the Mexicans that's in back of me, the government is paying them to rent this duplex. The government pays to rent this duplex in back of me, but they go to another state under another name and get federal benefits. They get a housing subsidy, food stamps, all the rest in another state. And the government doesn't know the difference. But you see that a lot. They get the housing subsidy and food stamps in Tennessee, then they go to North Carolina, change the name from Maria Rodriguez to Marie Lopez, and get another housing subsidy and more food stamps. They do that a lot, okay? Now, all of them are narcotics traffickers, every last one. I have not seen any of them that work a regular job. You show me one that works a regular job. You show me that one that works a job. I haven't seen it. All of them are narco traffickers. The children are narco traffickers. Now, see, they have to lie on in order to get a loan or in order to get a house, unless they pay cash, okay? But in order to get a loan and a house, they have to lie on the application. They have to get somebody to say, yeah, they're making $80,000 a year, so therefore they qualify for that house. Now, my neighborhood has at least 12 cartels, at least 12. The black guys have to come to my neighborhood so they can get their supply from the Mexicans, because the Mexicans run the wholesale market. So that you see a lot of black guys coming over here, coming to my neighborhood to get the drugs, okay, because they control the supply. They take the drug profits and start businesses. They take the drug profits and have a business. There are 2 businesses that I know of. They haven't had not a customer in 6 or 7 years, yet they're still open. They're still paying the exorbitant rent for the building. All they are is just fronts for narco trafficking. That's all you see. Whenever you go on that plaza, all you see is Mexicans narco trafficking. That's all you see. These 2 businesses. That's all you see. So don't buy into this myth of the Central American hardworking illegal. That's just not true. I took a class and there was a Central American who did not know how to convert a pound to a ton. In other words, it's 2,000 pounds in a ton. So if I have 4,000 pounds, how many tons do I have? 2. But they didn't know how to convert that. Okay, and that's what they're importing. That's what the United States is importing. People who don't have basic math skills, 6th grade math skills, 3rd grade math skills. But see, don't buy into the myth that they're hardworking. It's totally untrue. Now, there's apartment complexes taken completely over by Mexicans, Central Americans, apartment complex, and they happy. The government's paying their rent. The government's paying their food stamps. All they got to do is buy themselves a fine car. The Central American mayor, all he got to do is find a welfare woman over there. He finds a welfare woman over there. Look, they're going to live in an apartment happily ever after. Because the government's paying all for rent, all for food stamps, everything. If you see any Central American or any illegal of any other ethnic group under 50, the government has paid for them to come into the world. All these Mexican babies you see, the government has paid for every last one of them. The government even pays for glasses. I have to pay cash for my glasses. Period. Or I ain't gonna get no glasses. I gotta pay for dental, or I ain't gonna get no dental care, okay? Okay? So don't buy into this hardworking Central America. You gotta see them for who they are. Okay? You can get along with them a lot better if you know exactly who you're dealing with. You'll get along. Do not fool yourself that they are this or they are that. Have a nice day.